Hiya, welcome to part 3 of our Haunting Atmosphere cue. What we're going to be doing today is creating the stems, which is going to involve unhiding these reverb and stems which are in my template. If you haven't seen how to create this template, there's a video linked over there that shows you exactly how to do it. Don't forget, like and subscribe, always appreciated. What I'm going to do is go through these different instruments and colour code them into groups. So all the strings will be together, for example, all the effects will be together. I'm going to do that from top to bottom to start us off. See you when I've done that. Okay, so I've ended up with two fairly big groups here, groups of 4. So we've got all the strings at the top and we've got all the effects at the bottom. The reason for that is we did do quite a lot of automation work in part 2 to make all these instruments work nicely together. That will allow the editor to be able to fade them in or out as needed. That means there's actually room for each of the other tracks, the synth, the voices, the mallets and the bass, to be on their own stems. And it's only going to come to 6 in total, so that will be fine. Next step, unhide the reverbs and the stems. And in the mixer, what I now need to do is go through and change the outputs from stereo out to the correct stem. So for example, these first 4 will go to stem 1, which I will rename as string stem. And I'll go through each track, setting the output, then come back and do the sends, the same thing, but this time I'm going to go to the reverbs. So this will be labelled string reverb, and then I'll be able to set the amount of reverb I want for each of the individual instruments. Some of them won't need it because they're already actually quite reverberant anyway. So I will see you when I've set that up. Right, well, everything is now routed to the correct place, and I thought I'd just show you a couple of examples of things that I have done. For example, I've added quite a lot of reverb to this mallet sound. If we turn that off, you get that sound. So that makes quite a big difference. And all I'm doing is turning up the amount that I'm sending to the reverb channel for that, which was automatically also sent to the stem for the mallet. Another thing I've done is gone through and EQ'd different sounds. For example, the synth, which originally sounded like this. Which is quite woolly. So what I've done is put an EQ curve on and found some frequencies I didn't like. And if we hear that again, that's a lot fuzzier than that. And it's just a matter of using your ears to get the sound that you like. Right, the next step is to get all these stems out of input monitoring mode, pop them into record mode, hit the record button and watch the stems generate themselves. Don't forget to leave it running after the sounds have decayed so that you don't accidentally cut something off. Right, see you when that's happened. Great, now I've got my 6 different stems. I can set the cycle range so that it starts just before our first sound. And when I know we've got to the outro, what I'm going to do is show the output track so that I can automate a volume curve so that it gets absolutely out by the end. And we're going to do that simply by clicking there, wherever the end is, and then we'll do an automation curve tool, something like that. And that's how we'll end the cue. The last thing I'm going to do is add the Logic Mastering Assistant to boost our cue up to -1 dB, which we'll need for the output, and I'll come back when that's finished. Well, That's what Mastering Assistant thinks of it. I think we're going to play this as a bit of an outro for you. Don't forget, like and subscribe is always appreciated, and I hope you had fun watching and perhaps making your own. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye for now.